Hello and welcome to Why is Harriet Crying? With me, Harriet Kemsley and Sunil Patel, as always. And we have a wonderful guest today that we're very excited about, Angela Barnes.
Hello! Hi!
Oh,
First time I've clapped.
We've never done that before
We've
for
never
anyone.
done a clap on Zoom before.
It's an
Now I've
insult
got
to all our previous
special.
guests.
Yeah, guys, the best one's here. Just do it.
You're the only one worthy of a clap. Sorry, everybody else.
Oh, man.
Thanks for joining us, Angela.
Thanks for having me. I mean, I did just warn you off air. I had my second vaccine yesterday and I'm feeling just weird, a bit weird. Like, a head full of cottage cheese sort of weird.
Can I ask which one you had? Did you have one of the cool ones?
AstraZeneca, baby.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, no, I did. I know.
Is that bad?
I'm not young enough to have the cool Moderna like the kids.
I got lucky, Angela. I got lucky. I thought I was going to have AstraZeneca, and they called me in for Moderna. I was very lucky.
Whoa! Why is Moderna so good?
I think because it's rare. Yeah, it's a collector's
like the hipster
item.
vaccine.
I got it in Angel,
Shoreditch
Angela.
vaccine. Yeah, there you go.
And if you've heard of N1.
Yeah,
Harriet,
I
have
got
you had
mine
yours?
done in a chemist in Moulscombe, which is a really scummy bit of Brighton. So I know where I belong, guys.
You got yours inside a chemist? Wow. I
In a
suppose,
chemist, yeah.
okay, I thought they were all done in like basically aircraft hangars nowadays, but I guess that's quite nice. That's quite nice, quite homely.
Yeah, it was quite nice. I mean, I did have to queue outside in the pissing rain yesterday. So it wasn't all fun. But, you know, I've been jabbed. That's what can get you jabbed,
Yeah.
kids. Yeah.
So now what? Will you be how you going to celebrate?
Yeah, I'm going to lick everyone. I'm
Yeah.
going out. I've got a week till it kicks in. Next Sunday, watch out, people of Brighton. I'm coming
Here we
out and I'm
go.
going to lick you. All of you.
There's the best energy in Brighton. I was up for the did you say festival? I guess you say festival.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, for the festival.
Are you asking how you pronounce the word festival?
No, I'm asking if Brighton. I don't know if it counts as a festival because
Oh, it is. It's the Fringe Festival, isn't it?
the Fringe Festival,
Yeah.
but I mean, festivals aren't really happening in the same way. But
Yeah.
anyway, I was there for the festival, and there was just like the best atmosphere in Brighton. I literally heard 3 people say, "I'm so happy." Like everyone was just in the best place. It was so good.
I've never
know
heard
it.
anyone say, "I'm so happy."
Oh, fine. I've lived here a long time.
Exactly. You either act it or, yeah. I
Mind
don't
you, does that mean, Sunil, that it's just that nobody's ever
Just
said
around
they're
me.
happy in our presence?
know. There's a darkness
ever
around
been
me a
happy
little bit.
near you.
Exactly. I
A
was
black
happy,
hole.
then you came along. Oh, man.
Yeah, my fault. Entirely my fault.
I guess it's just a vibe I give off.
Yeah, maybe it's you. Yeah.
Or maybe people would say it to me, be like, "Oh, I'm happy because I'm not you."
Maybe.
Yeah. Right, Angela. Yeah.
Thank you, Angela, for balancing that. Angela, do you think you'll be going to any music festivals this summer?
No, because I'm nearly 45.
But, you know,
So I do love a festival. I always have in my head. So I'll perform at festivals. Like, I don't
Yeah.
mind doing it if I'm gigging, and I get to use the nice loos
Yeah.
and stuff. I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be front of house anymore, darling.
You're-
I remember going to Glastonbury when I was about, I don't know, I must be about 20. And
Yeah.
I saw a group of people celebrating their 30th birthday at Glastonbury. And I was like, fuck off, Grandad. And I was always stuck in my head. Like, they were 30 and I was like, this is not for you, guys. Go
yeah.
And now I'm like nearly 45 going, I want to go to Glastonbury.
But the people of your age at Glastonbury are usually the ones off their fucking nut on LSD in a forest, aren't they? They've
Yeah,
got
they're the
the
wildest.
van, the fire, yeah.
They've got babysitters for the weekend and they are going for it. But I went to see, about 5 years ago, I went to see Ned's Atomic Dustbin, right?
Yeah.
I think it was at Shepherd's Bush or somewhere like that. And I was up in the gods watching. And there was a mosh pit, but it was just men in combat trousers and bald heads. It was just the maddest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was just like, stop moshing. You've got teenage children at home.
Oh, God.
I actually went to a festival last weekend. It's almost, I don't understand how it happened.
Yeah,
Everyone's like, was it part of the
I'm
government
not sure you should be
scheme?
talking about this in public.
You went to a rave in a car park, probably.
No, there were 4,000 people there.
What?
And I was like, is it part of the testing scheme? And I was like, no, but apparently it was completely legal. But
And
it was
I'm not allowed to dance at my sodding wedding.
it was mad. There was like a mosh pit. One of the singers in the band, Primal Scream played. One of the singers in this other band jumped into the crowd and was crowd surfing. And you're like, how is this happening? There's a global pandemic. This is insane.
There is no rule. There's no rules. There's no guidelines. It's all just a free for all now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just seems to be, just look after yourself. If you're happy, then do it. I can't.
I was just telling.
think, yeah.
I was just telling Harriet I had to do a test today because I'm isolating after going away, and it said it's a day 2 test, part of the thing you have to do when you arrive back in the country. And it came to my door and I did it, and I looked at I can just put it in the post box. No, I've got to go to Hampstead Heath to post it into a box. So I just had to get a train to Hampstead Heath and back just to drop off my first test.
Mad. It's like when people are coming in, they're like, right, you will quarantine now, won't you? Now get on the tube, go to your
Yeah. My friend came last year in the summer, came back from holiday, and you're meant to go and quarantine. So she got the train into St. Pancras from France, and then you're meant to go home and quarantine. But they were like, oh, let's just go for dinner and have dinner before, because otherwise we're going to be in quarantine for a week. And so they all went for dinner at King's Cross, and you're like, this is madness.
It's so it has got to the point now where, and I'm an old woolly lefty, but even I'm just like, well, I'm double jabbed. Fuck everyone else. I don't.
That's the thing.
It's just got to that point now. If you lot can't stick to the rules, I find it really hard to give a shit about you anymore.
That's a refreshing attitude. I hadn't thought of that. I've got mine. I've got my second one coming up soon, and then after that, I'm actually not going to change at all. I actually quite like just sitting inside. Actually, it's all right.
I'll be honest. Like lockdown, I found it a piece of piss. Like I know I'm lucky in that.
It was all right.
It was great. I learned to sew. I read books. I just had the best time. I didn't have to drive to any shitty gigs.
Oh, the driving, God.
Oh my God, the driving.
Yeah.
I had a great time. Just walking my dog. So I was like, had this wholesome life that I've never had before.
I went to Waitrose every day.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine that? Wouldn't have time
There's
normally.
some people, Sunil, that live like that all the time.
Yeah, retired people.
I did not have this experience whatsoever.
You were locked down with Bobby, presumably.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think what's good is that you had hobbies. I think that's what I realised is that I have no hobby. So what do you do? I ran out of TV and then I didn't know what to do with myself.
You had the dizzy spell. You got dizzy for a few months.
Oh yeah, and then I got dizzy for a few months. So that's not a
something to
hobby
do.
though,
The
Sunil.
most on-brand Harriet thing I've ever heard. Oh, yeah, I got dizzy for a few months. Yeah, of course you did, Harriet.
She got dizzy and got a new dog. So there's a lot going. She's not,
Yeah.
And then I'd get occasional texts from Bobby saying, "Please come and live with us." And so it's been quite the year for all of us, I think.
Angela, you have a dog, don't you?
I do have a dog, Tina Belcher, the cockapoo.
So we've got a Cavapoo. They're so cute. I love cockapoo, Cavapoos. The whole family.
My little we swore. So she's 2.5 now. I've had her 2.5 years, and we swore because my fellow and I, we never wanted kids. We're not, and we swore we were not going to, we are not mummy and daddy to a dog. It's not a baby replacement. Oh, we were so wrong. Like this dog has brought out something latent in us that we did not know was there, and it's insane. I mean, particularly Matt, who was a bit ambivalent about getting a dog. It was really me who drove it, and now she has him completely wrapped around her little paw. Like she every single night. Right, there'll come a point in the evening when I'll realise that Matt's sitting on the floor and Tina's sat on his seat. And at some point, she trick him, playing with her. And as soon as he gets down to play with her, she jumps on his every night. Like, you're on the floor again, Matt. Have you noticed? Oh, for fuck's sake, every night. She's so in charge of us.
She's the alpha, basically.
Oh, she's completely the alpha. She's so cute and so adorable that you just think, oh, she couldn't possibly be. She plays us. Wouldn't believe, but she's adorable.
This is I've always thought that Harriet is quite manipulative, because she can wander around and everyone thinks, oh, she's very sweet and innocent. She knows what she's doing.
Like a cockapoo. Yeah.
Like a
I'm on the chair, everyone else is on the floor.
She's
Watch
the
out.
comedy circuit's cockapoo, basically.
So true. Anything cute just gets away with.
Yeah.
And yeah.
She told me once. Sorry, go on.
No, carry on. No.
I was just going to say, Harriet told me once about how she flyered for one of her like early days shows in Edinburgh, and she'd just wear a coat with a hood and just walk up to people and go, "Please come to my show." And of course they go. Of course.
That didn't mean they'd be a good audience, though. People go out of pity. It's not the crowd that you want. And then I'd say things and they'd be like, why is that girl saying these
Why is she
awful
saying
things?
something horrible? Why has she got chlamydia? Oh my God. Well, she was 12.
Staging interventions in the middle of the show.
Exactly. Our dog has recently, I think he's become a bit of a diva as well, and he keeps peeing inside if it's raining because he doesn't want to go out in the rain.
Rock and roll.
Tina's quite good at letting us know when she wants to go out. She's like, because I find that with these poodle crosses, they're like really easy to train, really good. And then you get to a point where they go, oh yeah, I know what that word means.
Yeah.
But I will decide whether
They know exactly what you want them to do, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, no, I know what lie down means. I know what getting in your bed means, but I'm not doing it.
But how do you punish a dog if it doesn't do the right thing? You can't really, can you?
No.
Especially if they're so cute.
You have to catch them in the act.
Right.
And that's the problem as well.
Well, he just does it. Of course he does it out of view. Of course he does. He's a sensible dog.
Sometimes he does it in front of us.
Harriet.
He's not that sensible. He's just pissing and looking at us and being like, it's raining, what do you want me to do? You don't piss outside, guys.
No. Brilliant. Okay.
I really want to meet Tina. She's so cute.
What's her full name?
Tina Belcher is her full name. It's, I don't know if you've ever watched Bob's Burgers.
Oh, is it from
Belcher
that?
is
Okay.
a character from Bob's Burgers that,
Right.
I love.
Okay.
And she was, like, our Tina was completely the runt of the litter. Like, basically, if we hadn't brought her home, her mum would have eaten her, I think. and like, she absolutely would not have survived in the wild. She's the most sickly dog you've ever met in your life, but she's we could not bring her home. And because she was the runt of the litter, and she was like really bullied by her mum and her brothers and sisters, right, in the thing. And so, and the breeders called her Teeny because she was so little. So we call her like Teeny the Teeny. But I remember when we brought her home as a pup, they give you like a blanket with the mum's scent on it, so they can sort of curl up because you're taking them away from their mother, you know. And literally got her home, got the blanket out for her, she just shat on it and walked away. She was just like, oh, that's what I think of that bitch.
I've got a new mother now.
Exactly. She just had no issues at all with leaving.
Oh, great.
I think she was so picked on by her mum and her siblings. She was like, no, good, fuck them.
That's the best fuck you. Angela, are you quite an emotional person?
Yeah, I am definitely over emotional. Like,
great.
I will let it build up, and then I will cry for a day over, you know, losing a parking ticket or something. Like, I'm a very hormonal person, and not just because of my age now. Like, I just always have been. You know, you can tell exactly when in the month it is by how much I'm crying. Yeah,
I find I always forget as well. I like every single month I forget, and I'm crying about Bobby doing something, and then he's like, "It's your period, Jen." I'm like, "You go fuck yourself! How dare you mention that? It's nothing." And then you look at the calendar and you're like,
"Oh, he's right." Well, then it's just like you come on the next day, you're like, "Oh, that's what that was about."
Yeah,
that makes sense now. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever noticed when you're on your period, Harriet.
Thank you so much, Snell.
Yeah,
oh, what you mean it's
compliment
constant?
I can pay her. Yeah.
There's never a relief.
Yeah, it just seems quite level, but quite high level.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Consistency is key, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parking tickets are so stressful though. We keep getting them because I don't know if it's the same in Brighton, but in London they keep putting these flower pots on roads, and for some reason that means that you can't drive where the flower pots are. And I kept driving through them, but then they like kept all the tickets back.
She
and so
means
they
putting the flower pots in the middle of the road so you can't really get past. So she's going past. She's going past.
You really
the
can
gap,
get through
in the
if you
tiny
try.
gap. Yeah.
Yeah. But they kept all the tickets back, so I didn't know you weren't meant to drive through them, and then just like sent them all out at the same time.
Oh my God, that's horrific.
It feels
That
like
is
it's
actually-
targeted.
That is a
There's
thing.
one bus lane in Brighton that gets me every time, to the point where, because there's like two roads really close to each other, and I always turn into the wrong one, and then you end up in a bus lane you shouldn't be in.
Yeah.
And to the point where I will drive like a mile out of my way to avoid that, trying to make that mistake.
Yeah.
It's got me so many times, and you're just like, stop punishing my stupidity with. You know what I mean? Like, let me just sometimes do something stupid. No one's being hurt.
Yeah.
Up in this bus lane again. I don't want to be in it. It's not not helping my journey being in this bus lane. Just stop punishing me.
Have either of you ever ended up by accident inside a bus station in your car?
Not for a long time.
I've done it a couple of times, and it's the most embarrassing. And people are just staring.
Did anyone get
Driving
in?
a bus.
No one got in, and no, it's just that you just take because
You
it's
just
so
have
hard.
3 old women in the back. You have to take the Tesco's.
So make sure the doors are locked so no one gets in. Not on service. In the Yaris, in a red Yaris.
I've got a red Yaris.
Have you hybrid?
Yeah.
Yeah, gang.
Yeah,
It's a good car, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, really good. Very reliable. Hasn't let me down at all.
I love it. Every car I've had before this is either leaked water inside it, got spiders in it, or just never worked. And it's just a dream.
It's amazing. Somebody, a mechanic said to me, "Buy Japanese. We never have Japanese cars in the garage." That's what he said.
That's it, isn't it?
And
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah. Oh my God,
Where in
how
this-
old are we?
Mate, I'm only 5 years younger than you. I'm 40, so I'm like,
okay,
I'm right on the MPG. I know what MPG I want in life.
You've been like this since you were 12 years old, Sunil. Stop pretending
No, I
that
used to
this
have a
is-
Volkswagen GTI. Had a
What country is Nissan from?
Japan.
Japan.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all
I had
right.
a Micra. It was great.
Well, the Micras are called the cockroaches of the road, aren't they? Because they
Great,
never die.
thank you.
Yeah. But all right. So I don't cry when things go dreadfully wrong or I'm incredibly stressed. I just shut down completely.
Right.
So like when I'm in a bus station in the car, I just have to like pretend everything is absolutely fine. Just drive through slowly, find the exit, and I don't care if it's one way or not. I'm getting out,
Get
but I'm
out,
doing
go
it
as
quietly. Yeah.
That's worse though. Just silently driving through a bus station.
As if everything's fine, just like
Yeah. Like you think
everything
you're a
goes
bus.
I think in cars, right, you should have some sort of like LED display or something where you can put messages. All you've got is a horn.
Yeah,
with other
you're
people in
right.
the car, right? And it's only ever. And sometimes I want something to go. Yeah, I know I cut you up. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Or,
Yes.
Yeah.
Or I didn't mean to do that. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Or please don't. I just want to be able to communicate with other
Absolutely.
drivers in a way that isn't just.
yeah, because when you're in it, you just think everyone else is an idiot, but they don't actually know what they're doing either.
Yeah,
It's just-
exactly. And so when you get cross with someone, you think, well, maybe they just made an idiot mistake like you do sometimes.
Yeah.
And I just think there needs to be some sort of like a little display where you can go, hey Siri, can you tell that driver via the display in my windscreen that I'm
Yeah.
sorry?
I think you're so right. We should record different beeps or like record your voice in every car just saying, I'm sorry, you know, and so instead of a beep, it says that. I'd love that.
There's that great John Mulaney bit about him driving. I don't know if you remember it from. It's one of his early albums when he says like he's a terrible driver, and he took an exit ramp off a motorway, decided he didn't want to take it, and just reversed back down onto the motorway, and then kept driving. And he said all the people were just slowing down to look at him, expecting to see. In his words, he was like expecting to see an old blind dog. But all they saw was a 30-year-old man just trying his best, and he wanted to communicate to everyone like, I don't want to be doing this either, but it's happening. There's nothing I can do.
I mean, talking about crying, I remember when I first passed my driving test, and I was driving, and I'd accidentally, I think it was coming off a roundabout, and I was sort of in the wrong lane, and I'd accidentally cut somebody up, and I sort of knew I'd done it, but there was nothing I could do about it, and I felt really bad, and it was like this young boy racer in his car, and he was really angry, and then there was some traffic lights, he pulled up next to me, and was just like shouting at me, and I was crying, because I was so just like, to the point where he went, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And he was like, all right.
So it works as a defense mechanism, the old tears, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Whereas if they see me doing that.
In the bus garage.
In the bus garage, just crying in a bus garage in my Yaris.
That's having a breakdown.
They will still shout at me.
Yeah, that is true. That is one less weapon you have in your arsenal, Sunil. You don't have a defense like that.
No.
It's actually a weakness. You're not crying, it means you're weak.
You found the chink in my armour, that I can't cry in a bus
You
station.
have to use it with the people you love. You have to use it sparingly. The
Harriet.
crying you have to, because
Harriet.
they'll be like, oh, she's crying again.
That's where we've got to.
I think with the people I love, they know that if I actually cry because of something they've done, they go, oh shit, we've crossed the line.
Yeah.
So I can hold it, I do most of my crying alone, I would say. In my car, sometimes do you ever get... Because I think sometimes crying is a bit like... I'm sorry about where I'm going here, but it is a bit like having a wank.
Tell me more. I could use this information.
Like, I've got this emotion in me and I just need it out.
Yeah.
Like, I just need it out quickly. And it's like...
Yeah.
I like stress relief.
Yeah. So sometimes if I'm in my car on my own on the motorway or whatever, I'll put like Mellow Magic on for 5 minutes until I cry at a song, and then I can get on with my day. It's just like watch, put Pornhub on, do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Get it out the way, get on with the day.
And I feel that way about crying sometimes, where you're like, oh, I've got this emotional blockage. I just need to clear it so I can get on with my day. So I put on, a station that's likely to play Whitney Houston, and then we're all right. We're good to go.
So are we saying that crying is selfish?
What? No, that's saying it's a tool.
Yeah, it's solitary. It's
solitary.
It's a sort of... I mean, obviously, I do...
I just want to say Harriet's selfish.
No, I think it protects everybody else. If I cry on my own, then you're not going to have to deal with it. That's actually a very selfless thing to do.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
get really cross with myself when I cry in front of people. When you can't...
Yeah.
Call them the burning tears. Like
it's the worst feeling.
And you can't stop them. And you're like, I don't want this person to know they've got to me, but there's absolutely fuck all I can do about it.
Yeah.
The tears are coming, and they're hot, and they're burning, and they've got to come out.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so annoying when that happens, and it's always in front of like a boss or something. You're like, I don't want you to know you've made me cry.
And you're like, I'm not actually upset about this.
Nothing else, actually.
I'm actually fine.
My grandma died. All right. Okay.
I actually heard a stat, and this was from Gloria Steinem, so we know it's true. And that is that women, so when you cry, damn it, you release, what was it?
Is it like oxytocin or something? Or...
Yes, you release oxytocin, so it's actually like incredibly healthy, and that is why women live longer than men.
Yeah,
well, because they cry.
Yeah, because they cry. They're releasing the toxins, and so they're much healthier. Don't Google it, Snell. I know you're Googling it
right now.
Snell, stop
I'm
Googling
doing it right now.
It does sound made up.
Gloria Steinem said it, everybody.
Who is Gloria Steinem?
Who is Gloria Steinem?
Oxytocin is released into the bloodstream as a hormone in response to love and in labour.
Yeah.
It's the love hormone.
How surprised I am that Sunil Patel doesn't know who Gloria Steinem is.
Renowned feminist Sunil
writer,
Patel.
Gloria Steinem.
Look, I'm a 40-year-old man. I haven't got time for this. Ride around
Well,
my
because
Yaris.
you're a man, you don't need to make time for it, Snell.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I do definitely do most of my crying in my car, I think. Yeah, alone. I remember once doing a gig in, oh my God, it was awful. I did this gig in Swansea, and I was living in North London at the time, and I was feeling really rough. Like, when you sort of halfway to a gig and you're like, I really should have pulled this gig. I am not feeling well, but I'm now halfway there.
Yeah.
And I got there, and And I remember I got there and I was supposed to be opening, and then they said, "Oh, actually, can you MC because the MC's not here yet?" So I ended up having to stay MC the whole gig. And then at the end of the night, feeling really rough, driving back from Swansea on the M4, and there was a motorway closure, as there always is when you're driving back late from the gig, right? And I was driving, I was like, "Oh God!" And so I followed the diversion off, and somewhere along the line, one of the diversion signs was wrong, right? And Google Maps hadn't picked up that there was a diversion yet, so it was still trying to get me back onto the motorway. And the diversion, I literally kept just coming back onto the M4 at the same junction, and then and it was like I was living in this nightmarish like I cannot get out, I cannot work out how to get out of this loop.
Yeah.
And about the fourth time round, I'm back at the same junction. And I just sort of came off the motorway. I was like, I just need to pull up somewhere. And by this point, it's sort of midnight or whatever. And I just pulled up somewhere, and I was just like heave crying, you know, when you're. And I phoned Matt, my partner, and I was like, "You're gonna have to talk, like, get Google Maps or something. Just talk me how to get back onto the motorway further along or something." And I remember just when I was talking to him, and I looked around, and there was just a donkey in the field next to me.
Matt, I'm by the donkey. How do I get back?
Help me get home. I can't. But you know when you just suddenly like, is someone playing a trick on me? Like, this one, I'm following the diversion, and I just keep coming back.
And look, we're so similar. This has happened to me so many times. It once happened to me with an older male comic in the car, and he just didn't do a single thing to help, and I just kept going like fucking male comics.
Were they just talking about gigs to you and you were
yeah, they're telling me about his best gigs. I just kept going back. In the end, he just wouldn't do anything, so I had to call Bobby, and Bobby was having to navigate from home while he just sat there like, I don't know, really.
Oh my God.
It feels like if life is a simulation, you seem to all have like the extra expansion packs that make it more interesting. I think for sure. Like, why is there a donkey in that field? I haven't got that one.
Right. It was like, but that's what it felt. It felt like I was in a game that there was a bug in, and that I just got stuck on this loop. I couldn't
Go reset.
Yeah, and you know when I was feeling ill as well, and you're just like, this can't be happening. I just want to be at home in my bed, and I'm outside Swansea. I remember stopping at a service station on the way home and buying an Atlas. I was like, this is never going to happen. And that Atlas has sat on my back seat ever since. Never been opened, but it's there. I know it's there.
You have to be careful with Atlases and cars, though, because I once was driving some friends back from a party when I was 18, and I couldn't get the car to start. It was like 3 a.m, and I couldn't get it to start, and so we looked all around, we were trying to work out what happened, and then we got it to start, and then it wouldn't get over 20 miles an hour, so we were driving down the motorway at 20 miles an hour. It was stressful,
so dangerous.
Over, and then we couldn't get it to start. We checked everything, and then we fell asleep for like 2 hours because we were like, we can't drive, it's too bad. And I went to sleep in the front seat, and I put my foot forward, and the Atlas got stuck under the accelerator. So every time I went to accelerate, it couldn't go all the way down because there was an Atlas there. So be careful with the Atlas in the car.
Story.
It stresses me out that Harriet drives.
I know. This is what, like, when I've driven with Harriet, it's genuinely like I'm so careful as a driver. I want to know what everyone's up to in front of me, like where they're going. Whereas Harriet just wafts through knowing that everyone's also looking out for everyone else and she can just do what she wants.
I've got so much better. I've been driving for like 15 years now, and it's definitely got better. I used to, every time I drove, just sometimes. Oh no, I don't know if I.
What, close your eyes. Have a sleep. Go on.
Sometimes I just hear a noise, and I'd realise I'd knocked off somebody's wing mirror on the car. I did it with another comic in the car once, and we both went like. And then just didn't mention it. Just kept driving. Because I was so embarrassed I didn't know what to do. And obviously I should have gone back and left my number and paid for the wing mirror. But
and you've got such a tiny car at that point as well. Like, how are you knocking into stuff? It's designed to get through the smallest gaps in a city.
I do think it is a thing about a female, like our spatial awareness is different to. So when I'm driving, I have to look for a really big gap. Like I need to overcompensate with the
Yeah,
gap.
me too.
I'm just not sure where the outside of my car is. If I'm not.
Do you have dyspraxia, maybe?
Well, it's been suggested. So I have ADHD.
It's been suggested.
You're in the family.
Yeah. I'm definitely in that ballpark. So I'm so overcautious. So if I'm like looking for somewhere to park my car, people, there's a gap there. I was like, yeah, that's not big enough for me. I need to know that there's plenty of room for it.
I need one that you can drive through. That's the ones that I need, so that then when you leave, you can go. The reversing is not.
Yeah, I'm not going to reverse into a space either. No, not for me, thank you.
Well, see, I'm actually not bad at parking as long as I think I had a really good driving instructor who gave me these little tips about like reverse parking and stuff. But I just need to know the space is big enough. I remember on my test, I had to do a parallel park on my test. You know, when you're just like, please God, don't let me have to do a parallel park. Like to park, like no. And I remember on my test, sort of, it was like someone took over the driving and just did the most perfect parallel park. It just went bang, bang, bang in. To the point where I looked at the examiner and was like, crikey, that's never happened before. I don't know. And when because I passed first time and I only had 2 minors and that was it, right? Which is insane because the day before my test, I'd gone out with my driving instructor and you could see him thinking, oh, I don't think you're ready for this, but we've booked it now, you know. And I remember giving him the thing with 2 minors on it and he looked at me as if to say, did you give him a blowjob? Like, I don't know.
2 minors is really good.
Yeah, that's really good.
Because that's what I got as well. But
right, there we go.
So it is really good. It must be really good. Yeah,
it's
if you
really
got
good.
it must be really good.
I know, but I'd never say I was a very good driver. I'd say I was like quite cautious and willing to go maybe a mile out of my way not to have to deal with a dangerous turn.
But that makes you a good driver, I think. You see, I think
scared,
careful,
afraid, cowardly.
No, that's what I want my drivers to be. Cowardly and going out of the way to avoid danger. There's enough fucking idiots being dangerous on the road. I like careful drivers, thank you very much. I'm the same.
I was in a taxi, I was talking to him about driving in London and how much I don't like it. And I went, and we saw someone do some dangerous manoeuvres and I was like, look at that, and I don't want to have to deal with that. And he just went, what I've learned from 30 years of driving is that nothing matters anymore. I was like, right, okay.
He's just given up.
He'd given up. He said, I'll just do what I want. They can deal with it.
Left his marriage.
staring down the barrel of,
I hate driving in London. I don't miss it at all, and I'll avoid it as much as I possibly can. Because, like, it is a free-for-all. Like, no one... I'm a bit of a... I sort of hate this about me, but I am not a rule breaker in life. I'm not. If there's rules, I'll stick to them. Yeah. And I wish I could be more maverick, but I can't. I have to. And so when other people are doing what they like, it stresses me out so much. And in London, it's just a free-for-all. Well, if you're trying to stick to the rules when no one else is, it's impossible.
Yes, Harriet. Yeah. Can't believe Harriet's a rule breaker. I can't believe we've made her into a maverick.
I think the problem is
renegade.
I'm unaware of the rules. That's the issue. They're easy to break if you don't know what they are.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
There's no agency behind her rule breaking. It's
I'm so glad that you're like me, Angela. That's there's not many Sunils actually. It's really nice, or at least the people I book are not like Sunil.
Yeah, we've had Stu Laws.
Harriet's booking all the acts. Yeah, like, right, who looks like an emotional wreck? I'll book them.
Who's going to take my side?
That isn't the criteria.
I know. Like my agent, God love him. But I've had the same agent for like 8 years, and he's so good now. At the times I've cried down the phone to my agent because I just get so stressed about like if somebody offers me a job, my automatic feeling is, well, don't be stupid. There's no way I can do that. Like I can't. I'm not good enough, and then I'm going to get found out, and the imposter syndrome and all of that. Yeah. So my agent is like, his job basically is talking me off ledges. This poor guy, like, his whole life for me just going, I can't do it.
That's so nice to hear from someone like you, though, because you'd never imagine that. Because obviously, whenever you do things, you do them so well. So to hear that is so reassuring.
I am the worst. I remember when they first asked me to sort of be a semi-regular on Mock the Week. So I've been doing like maybe 1 a series, 2 a series or something. They said they wanted me to do 4 out of
Yeah.
6 episodes, a series a few years ago. And my agent phoned me up. He's like, "Oh, it's great news, Mock the Week. What you to do that?" And I just burst into tears. I was like, "I can't. I'm not good enough. I can't. They're going to find me out." I can't."
Even though you'd been doing loads of them already,
Even though I'd been
and
doing
doing
loads
well
of them
at
already,
it,
and he sort of had to say, I think his exact words were, you know, that they're not offering you this because they feel sorry for you. Not how telly works. You know?
Imagine if that was how it works.
oh my
Oh,
god!
poor Angela, she's really shit. Let's give her some more work. Make
Imagine
her
if
feel
TV
better
was
about
just a
herself.
charity scheme where they're like, who's not doing great?
My default is just to go, "I can't do that," and
Yeah.
get in a state about it. And my agent's just really like, he must be like in the office going, "Oh god, she's crying again, guys." So put her on mute. Put her on mute. Make me a cup of coffee. Barnes is crying.
That is so lovely. That's actually, when I get something, that's the point when I actually feel the best. And then it's like a slow slow decline
Yeah, yeah.
afterwards. It's like when you first get that news, you've got something, I'm so happy and excited, and then the reality hits that you have to do it.
Actually do it.
Yeah, that's when
Yeah.
the fear
Yeah,
hits.
Totally. And that fear of being found out. And I do think that's what makes you. It's what makes you a good comedian, because I think if you've got the arrogance to think you're just good at everything, you won't last very long. You know, there's a few exceptions to the rule that we can probably all think of the same thing. But I do think generally, because you care and because you want to be good, you know, and you
Yeah.
feel that, it's what makes you good. It's what makes you, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
also a decent person to work with, that you're not just going in swinging your dick about going, I'm the best, you know.
Yeah,
That you're conscientious and you want to do your best. So you know, as my agent always says about me, Buzz, always does her homework, because I'm so worried about making a tit
Yeah.
of myself. I'll
Yeah.
be like, "What prep do I have to do? What do I, you know?" So,
I definitely feel that was the way. Like when I started doing stand up, I just spent so long writing and just being really careful about what I was saying, and then that all went to shit.
Yeah, after watching your show at Surrey Theatre the other day, you really stopped doing that, Sunil.
Yeah,
I think you get to a point where I'm always wary of it now, where I think, I like, the longer you do stand up, I think the greater your hit rate of new material is, right? Because you
Yeah.
sort of get, this will work, this won't work, or whatever. But I'm still so
Yeah.
terrified of it.
yeah,
I'm terrified of doing new material. I'm terrified of, you know, going,
Yeah.
"Hey everyone, look at my babies. Oh, are they hideous babies? I'm sorry." Put them away. You know,
Yeah.
the whole thing just still scares me. But I think it's good to be scared, because
Oh,
you have to
definitely.
be
Yeah.
conscientious and not.
it keeps it interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Imagine if you were just like, yeah, this is just
Yeah,
it'll work. If not, yeah.
It's the
exactly.
only
And also, I
way.
think it keeps you trying, sort of, to do better than the last stuff. You know, when you just sort of, otherwise you can go, "Well, I'll just bang out what I banged
Yeah.
out before, and it'll be fine." If you
Yeah.
sort of, yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
get in a state.
Yeah, you just have to completely start from the beginning again and go on and be bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Really?
horrible when you, and,
Yeah.
you know, and also when I think people, if you've done a bit of telly or whatever, people have a bit of an expectation of you, and you can tell them it's a new material night as much as you like, but they're still going to be going, "Christ, seriously?"
They're still fucking furious.
If you're not just banging out, you know, gold after gold, and just like, "Give me a
Yeah.
chance."
God, yeah.
It's yeah, that's so funny, isn't it? Sorry, I just got distracted.
No,
I was just
it's-
laughing.
it's
I was thinking
true. I
about
think,
how true it was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right though. When it gets not easier, but it gets more. The process gets refined. I think as you get on
Yeah.
a bit, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like, I think a lot of it is just like not overthinking it and just do it. Yeah, just getting it
Yeah.
done and just
Well,
trusting in the process.
It's like learning another language, I think, writing stand up. And then once you sort of got into the rhythm of it and you sort of get that language, and you
Yeah, it becomes
speak it,
subconscious.
then it becomes sort of like you go, "Oh yeah, that'll work. That probably
Yeah.
won't." Whereas when you start out, you're just like stringing these words together and going, I don't know why that one they laughed at and that one they didn't."
Yeah.
You just got to trial and error it until
Yeah.
you just
absolutely.
it becomes second nature. But yeah,
Oh, I miss those
what a
years.
stupid job.
It's a very stupid job.
So stupid. Hello, strangers. Please love me.
Angela, do you want to hear a sad story? Every episode, I tell Sunil a sad story, trying to make him feel something.
Okay.
And so maybe it will make. I hope it doesn't upset you too much.
Get ready to be
I've
blown
braced
away,
myself.
Angela, by the lack of research that Harriet's put into this. I guarantee this will be the first time she's read it.
Okay, so
I've read it. It's okay. Moment: man jumps into sea with 10 circling sharks to save injured bird from death. That was just the build-up. That was the
Yeah, I
headline.
get it. I get it. I just wanted
Okay.
to. But it's a video, isn't it? So you're reading us a description of a video.
No, there's not a video. So this man was filmed swimming one-handed through
There is a
shark
video. There is. You just said it was
ocean.
filmed,
Oh yeah.
there's not a video.
and it said this is the moment he jumped in. So I guess.
We don't know if they kept the
visual
video though.
thing.
He was filmed, but we don't know if the video is available.
Oh, fine.
Oh no, it is. It's just above.
Yeah, cool.
He was filmed swimming one-handed through the shark-infested ocean while holding the zebra finch up high to protect it. Several more sharks can be seen starting to close in. He was also tackling the strong current in the sea to get back to the boat. He then reached the yacht, and fellow crew members helped the exhausted man out of the water just in time. Isn't
That's
that
an
so
exciting
sweet?
story, but it's not a sad story.
It is sad because the bird was going to die.
But it didn't, so it's a happy
Yeah.
story.
And also,
Uplifting.
I just think, there comes a point where you have to go, I'm going to risk my life for a bird. What a
Has he not got family to think about?
Like,
And they're like, he
imagine
died
if he
saving a bird.
died, and then, yeah, exactly. I'd feel sad for his family if he died. Or the poor people that'd have to rescue him. That's what I think about these people who go, die on mountains and stuff. And you go, you're the prick who went up snow.
You went up it, yeah.
But
And now we've got to
the
deal
poor
with
people
that.
who've got to rescue you have got to deal with your
Yeah.
bloody remains and your,
Yeah, Harriet.
So you're not impressed.
Not with his actions, no.
No.
And honestly, he interfered with the circle of life there.
Yeah, yeah.
The man that filmed it said, I went from my cabin and saw what happened and started to film it. I had injured my leg and I was wearing a bandage, so I couldn't enter the water. Otherwise,
Nice,
I would have
nice.
tried to help.
I was just going to say, why are you not helping? It's like, I'll get the excuses in.
Nobody asked me. So.
I totally would have got in, but my leg hurt.
Oh,
And,
go
yeah.
around it.
It was clear that he was fine, despite the strong current and swimming with one hand.
And the sharks. Yeah.
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 I never spoke to him about the sharks, but I think he was okay with them since he is a Maldivian guy and they meet sharks everywhere.
What?
He added the bird would have died in the ocean if they hadn't saved her.
Yeah.
So
Why wouldn't it have flown
Not
away?
in the ocean all the time.
Yeah.
Birds are dying in the ocean. I can't.
And also, yeah, why didn't it fly away anyway? It would have flown
because
away.
it was in the water. Yeah, it doesn't say if the bird could swim, but I
I mean,
guess
if the bird couldn't fly away from that danger, the fact that it's still there, I mean, it's dead now, right? That bird is obviously
Its natural lifespan is over, surely.
a sitting duck. That bird.
I bet it just went back in.
But yeah, it's just.
It just flew right back in.
maybe it wanted to die.
Maybe it wanted to die.
Yeah,
then
That's something we don't
swam
talk
into-
about, is it?
yeah. Then this idiot comes along and saves it.
Yeah.
It's like, finally, I've got the strength.
We should put links to these stories in the podcast description so people can actually read them themselves rather than
Yeah,
in the way you
I
do.
think I do a pretty good. I think I summed it up pretty well, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess you
People
did.
might want to see the video of the man swimming and saving the bird.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, imagine if he has children. It doesn't say if he
Yeah,
has children
that's
or
the,
not.
yeah.
There's more questions than answers with this.
If the story was
Sorry.
father of four dies saving Finch from sharks.
Watch the video here.
Yeah. Man says I would have helped him and his kids, but I had a bad leg, so
Got a plaster.
yeah, I got
Just
plaster on
filmed
my
it.
leg, got a cut. Oh god.
Okay, so
Great.
you didn't make you feel anything, Sunil?
I felt amusement.
Oh, okay.
Is that what
Not
you were
really
going
there.
for, Harriet? No.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Yeah. So I think we've made ourselves clear on that one, Harriet. Thank you though.
Yeah, I will get you one day. One day I'm just going to tell a really harrowing story, and then you're going to feel bad.
Yeah, but then you'll start crying telling it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Thank you.
Oh,
Angela, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. It's been so much fun.
It's great.
I've had a
Thank
lovely
you.
time. Thank you for having me.
Do you have anything happening that you'd like to promote or anything coming up?
Oh no! All right. Probably no. I've got a podcast because who hasn't?
You've got to.
It's called We Are History, and it's a history podcast I do with John O'Farrell, but it's sort of silly history. And yeah, you can follow us on Twitter at We Are History Pod. We're having a little summer break, but there's like 50 episodes already on this. So you can go and
Great.
listen to them, and that's about it, really. Yeah. I'm
That's
getting
it.
married in September, hopefully. So. So,
Everyone's invited.
Everyone's invited to the party. It's going to be like that festival that Harriet went to.
Yeah.
You're gonna be crowd
4,000
surfing.
people
Yeah,
dancing.
exactly.
Oh, that's so excited! I'm so excited for you, Angela. That's amazing.
Fingers crossed it can happen.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
It will. You've been double jabbed. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Just do it.
And I'll be honest, there's not many people under 40 coming to our wedding, so I think we'll all be double
Lovely.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We're on Patreon. If you want to get extra episodes, then it becomes weekly at patreon.com/whyisharrietcrying. Thank you so much for listening. Snail, did you have anything you wanted to say?
No, thank you for listening.
Oh, that was so nice.
That was almost heartfelt.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I've never known you
Right on the border.
be
Well,
so
thanks,
sincere.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.